The Detroit Red Wings are used to celebrating championships and winning on the ice, but now they're also celebrating great victories in the classroom, including close to home right here in the greater West Bloomfield area. As Colleen Mestdagh, the Eye Center and Information and Tech Specialist at Doherty Elementary School, was one of a select group of educators across the local area called Best in Class by the Detroit Red Wings, enjoying a fun night out at Little Caesars Arena and a $12,500 grant as well, courtesy of Meyer and Little Caesars, as well as the Detroit Red Wings. She joins us now on the Splash Live to talk more about this honor. Colleen, thank you so much for being with us.
Thanks so much for having me.
Glad to have you on, and congratulations, first of all, on this honor from the Detroit Red Wings. When you first heard the news, what was your initial reaction?
I was honored and honestly just surprised. I think it's so great when organizations honor and recognize teachers. I think everyone in education knows it's kind of a thankless job. So it's just amazing when an organization takes time to celebrate us. It was really special.
The program honors 75 teachers throughout the state during 3 different award ceremonies. That was one of those across the state that's honoring these educators. And when you think about the Detroit Red Wings and their honoring of these educators, as someone that's on the front lines of this every day and sees the work that our teachers, that our tech specialists, that our all the other officials throughout our classrooms and throughout our schools are putting in, what does this then mean to you kind of on top of that, being that you're honored amongst some of the best of really talented people that are educating our kids every day?
Yeah, I think when you looked around the room, there were teachers in all different areas from around the state. And when I think about the colleagues I work with on a day-to-day basis, every single one of us should be honored. We in West Bloomfield just have the best of the best. I've been teaching almost 20 years. I've been in neighboring district and now in West Bloomfield, and I've been a classroom teacher and now a teacher librarian. And education is the single most important job I feel out there. And so I really think that we need to honor and celebrate and recognize all of the educators in our lives and our children's lives. We wouldn't be here without them. So I really think about all the teachers who've inspired me in my career, the teachers that I had as a child, professors, and just the colleagues that I learn next to on a day-to-day basis that just make me a better professional. So I really think holistically about everybody and just kind of the shoulders who I stand on, and I hope to lift all of those up as well.
Colleen Mestdagh is with us, one of 75 educators across the state who has been nominated as Best in Class by the Detroit Red Wings and received some grants and some honors from them as well in one of their 3 ceremonies for educators all across the state. She's also their Information and Tech Specialist and Eye Center Director at Doherty Elementary School, joining us on the Splash Live. And Colleen, as you said, you've been working in this industry for about 20 years now, and you've been able to work with so many different excellent educators and learn so much along the way. What are some of those key elements of what you've learned that you've been able to apply in your educational profession that maybe set you up for an award like this?
Well, I think being a teacher librarian and being in this kind of niche area of the school is an amazing opportunity because alongside, of course, I'm running a fully circulating library, which is a huge undertaking in and of itself. But also as a teacher librarian, I'm teaching students every hour, every day. So I have the opportunity to teach and learn alongside approximately 500 students every single week. And so, yes, of course, they're checking out books. And of course, we're engaging in amazing stories and literacy lessons. But I'm truly able to inspire readers. And when we think about what is the most important thing that I think educators teach, it's reading. Our goal is to create lifelong readers. So the fact that I can inspire and impact an entire school community and also a school community that I live in as well. So this is a real amazing opportunity to live and teach and work in the community that I reside in. I'm just really invested in West Bloomfield. I have 2 girls who are in the district. My husband's a teacher in a neighboring district. And so, I come from a family of teachers. I'm a part of a family of teachers. And I just think it's an amazing opportunity to impact an entire school community. And I also hope that I'm impacting families as well. I hope that I'm giving strategies and tools that parents can kind of put and caregivers can put in their back pocket to inspire their young readers at home.
One of the best in classes in one of the best school districts in the state of Michigan, right here in the West Bloomfield School District. Colleen Mestdagh joins us from Doherty Elementary on today's edition of the Splash Live, named one of 75 teachers across the state in the Detroit Red Wings 2025 Best in Class nominations as well. And you know, you talk about the importance of education and in particular reading in the classroom for our kids, for their not only current education, but education all throughout their life. And today we have so much of a blend of traditional technologies like reading and books and that sense, and also modern technologies, whether it's computers or tablets or AI and VR and so much else that's coming into play today. So as an educator that's primarily focused in that area, how do you start to blend those two together to keep the kids educationally sound with all the traditional elements, but also keep them up to date with all these new technologies that will ultimately be really helpful for them for years to come?
Absolutely. That's a great question, Jake. I think when we think about reading, we have to think about access to books, and we have to think about there's different access points for students. So, of course, paper books are not going anywhere, and that's a good thing because we know the brain research shows how important it is for us to hold that book and have that relationship with the text. But of course, we can have that relationship on a Kindle and an e-reader and ebooks, and listening to audiobooks count as well. So there's a lot of different access points that all count for kind of quote unquote reading. And when we think about the technology piece, I think in our department across the district, we're really working on teaching digital citizenship. So we're helping students understand, how do we have this balance with screens and with text? And how do we understand how these screens are working and how to limit some of that screen time that can be so addicting for students, and we're guilty as grown-ups as well. So I think it's important that we're teaching them how to stay safe online, how to use these resources appropriately. Of course, there's wonderful research online, and as mentioned, ebooks and other websites that are educational. But we also have to be really mindful about creating that healthy balance in our media life.
And you, of course, were honored by the Detroit Red Wings as one of their best in class. You were able to go to Little Caesars Arena with some other educators from across the local area, across the state, as they received their honor as well, and meet some of the Red Wing legends, including Justin Educator. Here's a picture of Colleen at Little Caesars Arena on game night. Got 2 tickets to go enjoy a Red Wings game, a pregame meal, some Red Wings apparel, some gift cards as well, and of course, the great honor as one of the best in class. You also had a chance to interact with Justin Educator, who's from Michigan, a Red Wings legend in his own right. You invited him out to Doherty Elementary School. Any update on that? Are we expecting Abby to be out there anytime soon?
Well, hopefully, yes. He was wonderful. We got to meet his family. He talked about the importance of educators in his life. He talked about how even when he was, on the team for the Red Wings, how he was still working on getting his degree from Michigan State as well. So he was a real great inspiration and just a really down-to-earth guy. So we did talk about his picture book that he published a few years ago, and he actually came to Doherty a while back before I was working in the district, and so we'd love to have him back in the library soon. So hopefully we'll connect. And I can't make any promises, but hopefully we can make that happen, hopefully next year.
And Colleen, lastly, as you reflect on receiving this honor, what do you believe is amongst the many reasons why you may have been the focal point of this from the West Bloomfield School District? And what do you hope that you can do to then inspire other educators coming up in the district to have a similar impact that you've been able to have at Doherty and beyond?
Oh gosh, that's a good question, because again, I think there's so many people who fit the bill and who could have been honored right alongside me. But I do think that I'm a very passionate educator. I'm a lifelong learner. I really believe that there's always more to learn in our profession, and I'm always looking to enhance the educational experience for our students and also try to encourage professional learning among staff and families. So I'm involved in a ton of committees across the district. I'm involved in a lot of extracurricular things in our school. I run a Book of the Month club. We're working on kind of reading a book every month as a school community and talking about that. We actually meet tomorrow after school. So there's a lot of ways to be invested and to impact the community, whether it's within the walls of the school or outside of within the community as well.
Well, Colleen, we want to congratulate you once again for being one of the 75 educators across the great state of Michigan and its 80-plus counties named Best in Class by the Detroit Red Wings, and hope that there'll be many more inspiring stories from educators like you and your colleagues at Doherty and beyond for years to come. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you so much, Jake. I appreciate it.